Hey everyone, so we've got a little mini series going on at the moment looking at aspects of our life, experiences that from the perspective of me as a separate entity, isolated, trying to find peace, trying to find my way home, trying to be someone. We're looking at experiences from that perspective that are deeply troubling and really are become life or death. And we're considering how those experiences are the gateway to a profound truth, a profound understanding of what we are. When they're not understood as such, when they're just taken at face value, really, of deep suffering that we have to somehow get out of, then they have the opposite effect and they reinforce the insecurity, the instability, the sense of being under attack. And we've got a really juicy one today to look at, which is my identity being under threat. Oh, it's such a good one. It's such a good one. And so this is the situation in which something about me, my sense of who I am, my identity, and it could be my ability at work, my parenting, my appearance, my body, my attractiveness, my success, my car, my football team, my country, my gender, all of it. So there is something under attack that the conditioned belief of what I am is identified into. And so the suffering is intense in this moment because it looks like the very core of my being is threatened. And the more intensely identified in to that particular area, then the more troubling it is when it's under attack. So say my whole existence really is pinned on being a good mother. And I take tremendous pride. I'm sort of fiercely proud of what a good mum I am. And from the achievements of my children, the way they're perceived, what other people say about them, I get my sense of worth. I get my sense of purpose, my validity. My whole existence seems to rest on my impact, my identity as a mum. And then something happens, my child fails an exam or gets into trouble at school, or I overhear parents talking about my child and they don't like them, or I overhear them criticizing the food that I give my children or the activities that I do with them. Or my child turns around to me and says, I much prefer Tom's mum. And actually that's happened. Yeah. God, can't really make these things up, can you? She's excellent. She does this and that and that, and so the wounding is immense. It goes straight in because the core existence is under threat. What am I if I'm not a mum? And for being a mum, we can replace anything: a business leader, an author, a coach, a friend, a sister, a daughter, a son, a football supporter, you know, we can replace anything for this. It's just the area where our whole being seems to reside. Now, when this comes under threat, the suffering is tremendous. We're in life and death now, because what are we? If that gets taken away, what am I? Nothing. And so the suffering is immense. And when we're not in a conversation about reality or identity, that suffering is just taken at face value. We have to get rid of the suffering at all costs. We have to restabilize our existence. And so all sorts of ways might come of how to do that. You know, we might go into battle with whoever is offending us. We might cut off all contact. We might withdraw completely. We might go on a campaign to make whatever they say come under suspicion. There's so many ways of restabilizing our identity. And that has to happen as long as the suffering is taken at face value, as long as it's not inquired into, as long as it's an unconscious, conscious mind that is just blindly, desperately trying to stabilize. It has to happen. But here we are in a conversation about identity and reality, and we're starting to see now that acute suffering, that sort of contraction through the whole body, that resistance, the tension, that fight or flight, that sense of survival under threat, when actually there isn't any threat to physical survival. You know, we're not in that minute dealing with bullets heading our way or a speeding car coming at us. There actually is no survival threat going on. And that's so important. It feels like it, but it's not. When we're in this conversation now, we see that suffering, that tension, as the gift of all gifts. That this is the gift that is saying there is something really juicy to see here. So slow right down. Exit that unquestioning, identified, seeking, resisting mind. Exit that and just watch what's going on. Watch these words coming in, watch the effect they have. Watch what future scenarios are being created, what past scenarios are being dragged into the present, what defenses are being erected. Watch it all. Watch it all, because what we're seeing is an identity grasping to stabilize itself. And in seeing that, and in the realization that actually that isn't true life or death, it's just what I believe about myself and what others believe about me, looking like it has the power to kill. It doesn't. And in that moment, a gateway opens, which is really the gateway of actually, what am I? Without all that belief, without all that defensiveness and identification, what am I? And then it starts to become clear that these roles that we think we exist within are just constructs. They're frames. They're frames of activity, really. They're frames of doing that actually have nothing to do with the truth of what we are. Do you see the difference? So being a mother, say, involves activity, involves communication and interaction and listening and engagement and problem solving. But it doesn't, the word mum is a frame for that activity and for that relationship. It's not a frame of existence, because existence is independent of that. Life is independent, consciousness is independent of it. It has nothing to do with these frames, with these roles and titles and labels. Nothing. It's happening regardless, isn't it? So that's the freedom. And so that experience of 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 that identity being threatened is either a slippery slope back into the old vicious circle, hamster wheel, Groundhog Day of desperately trying to find peace through stabilizing our identity, or it's a gateway to the liberation from the constructed idea of what we are and back to the ultimate foundational truth of being, which is beyond offense, beyond labels, beyond any conceptual judgment or idea. Yeah, so cool. Thank you. Lots of love. Bye.